Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. And how I lived. That's what we're going to talk about today. How do you live in situations where the missile knows where you are? Note that this is not going to be a regular notching guide. Other people have made good videos about how to notch already. This is going to be about how do you avoid a missile when you can't properly get into a notch? What other things can you do to avoid dying? Let's take another look. So I'm flanking right in the flanker, and on RWR, I get hard locked by a Typhoon. In cyclic target switching, I see that the closest Typhoon is 30 kilometers away, so I slowly notch. And as I'm turning back in, I realize, that missile was fired by the Su-30 SM-2, who is 16 kilometers away. It has far too much speed for me to meaningfully change my course, so even if I chaff, I can't avoid the inertial guidance of the missile. So I do the only thing possible to make my plane further away and rotate it, which narrowly avoids the proximity fuse. Fighter jets are very tall and very wide, but also very thin, and so rotating them can be the difference between living or dying when you're dealing with missiles that you can't cleanly notch. Next, I'd like to talk about getting slow and its more extreme cousin, getting stationary. Many people don't know this, but notching becomes dramatically easier when you are traveling at lower speeds, and this turns the bad high-speed energy retention of airframes like the Flanker into a good thing. And by the way, when I say notching gets easier, I'm not referring to how airframes typically maneuver better at lower speed. I mean, mathematically speaking, pulse Doppler radars work by calculating the rate of closure or retreat. So the slower you're traveling through the air, the bigger the margin of error on notching. Like let's say you need 100 meters per second of closure rate for the missile to see you. If you're going Mach 2 and you're just a few degrees away from parallel with the missile, your plane is still closing or retreating fast enough to meet that threshold. But if you're going 600 kilometers an hour, you can be very sloppy with your notch angle, and your closure rate is still going to be too low for the missile to see you. And because thrust vectoring aircraft are so super maneuverable at low speeds, this is a pretty good combination for War Thunder. You can wiggle around at speeds where you really should be a sitting duck, but you're not. Like take this clip for example, and pardon the low quality because I don't have the original of this, I just have the tiny clip that I edited and sent to my friend as an example of how bad spotting is in War Thunder. But you can really see what I'm talking about here. Any of these missiles should have killed me if I was going faster, but I'm wiggling around at like 200 kph, and so this guy just cannot get a good lock. Well, I mean, he's getting a lock because he's firing AMRAAMs, but the AMRAAMs can't get a good lock. So I was reading an old book about the Flanker, and one thing that the Russian military actually taught as tactics is if you just start hovering with no velocity in the middle of the air, at least older radars will lose lock on you. And this includes missile locks as well. And if you've ever tried shooting at a wreck that's like falling through the air with low velocity, you know that they're very hard to lock on radar. So I kind of want to try this in actual games. So one more thing I'd like to mention is a lot of planes have RWR blind spots, even at top tier. This is the Su-30 SM-2, has a lot of blind spots, as you can see, on the top and bottom hemispheres. And so that leads to a lot of situations like this one where your RWR blind spot is facing a missile because maybe your plane is turned. You have to just keep your ears open and listen for the missile. And if I had not chaffed at exactly that moment, I would have died. So that is one piece of advice. Just keep your ears open for missiles coming towards you because it saves you so often in situations where you should die. Now for this clip, I have 2 points to make. The first is, don't stop chaffing against Micas like I did until they are past your plane, because they will reacquire you. Micas in specific do that. The second is, when you're chaffing 2 missiles at once, try to put yourself in between them, because it makes it easier to get parallel. So this clip illustrates what I was talking about with Micahs. They are unique among top tier missiles that they will just keep coming for you while you're chaffing. You can see it's reacquiring me, and I chaff again and it reacquires me. So you have to keep chaffing against that missile. In this clip, I want to talk about something that I never see people doing enough in War Thunder, which is just kinetically killing enemy missiles with your own missiles in situations where it matters. Like right here, I'm hard locking an ER into this guy, so I have to stay kind of committed, and I end up getting launched on at like 9 kilometers. So I notch the first one, but I want to be aggressive on this guy. I want to kill him, so I hard lock an ER into him, and then when he shoots his missile, it's close enough range that the motor is going to stay on. And I shoot an R-73 at his plane with radar slaving, but it goes for the missile because the motor is still burning at this range. And there's lots of situations like that where using a missile saves you from a missile. Same kind of situation here in this clip, except I'm in the Su-30SM2, so I don't have to stay locked on people, which is very helpful. Basically, I'm having a jousting kind of Fox 3 fight with these guys, and it's gotten really close. And I'm almost in melee range of both of them. I can reach out and punch them. But then it gets down to this guy, and I don't have any chaff left, or flares for that matter, so I just have to shoot his missile down. There is no other option for me to live. Luckily, it works. So I do want to get some footage of the hovering thing that I mentioned earlier in actual games. I will try doing that, and other than that, I'm probably going to make a video about dogfighting in the Su-30SM2 soon, and how you can use thrust vectoring most optimally, because I think some people just hit the button and they don't quite realize how to use it the best. I'll also be making a video at some point about upcoming thrust vectoring fighters that will be added to War Thunder in the next year, like the F-22, the Su-57, Su-47, Su-37, etc. If any of that interests you, give a follow, and till next time, bye-bye.